Hi Capricorn, this is your 2017 forecast with astrologykiki, and I wanted to start off talking about Jupiter, which is the planet of luck and expansion. And Jupiter will be moving this year from your 10th house to your 11th house, and it will be moving in October. And so for the first part of the year, first 3 quarters of the year, in your 10th house, you will see an expansion of your career, recognition, professional recognition. You may get pay raises. You may get a new or better career or position, and it should be a very positive time for you to expand that area of your life. And then in October, it'll move into your 11th house, which will expand your circle of friends and your networking and the people around you and your acquaintances and organizations. You may participate in more charities and volunteer work. You may have greater gains. This is the house of gains. So financially, all of those great things that Jupiter did in your 10th house with your career are going to really show, and you may have more comforts around your home. Two very positive places for Jupiter to be. Then, at the same time, we're going to talk about Saturn. And Saturn is your ruler. So Saturn will be moving into your first house, which for many of the other signs, that's a little bit of a tough place for it to be. But since it is your ruler and a natural home, you may not see quite the harsh effects that Saturn can have. And I'll explain to you a little bit why. But first, we'll start with it doesn't move until the end of the year in December, and it's going to move from your 12th house to your first house. And when Saturn is in your 12th house, it tends to be you could be more nostalgic. You could find that there's some hidden secrets that you had come to light, and they may be a little bit challenging to work with. Saturn likes to teach lessons, so maybe some of those lessons that you'll learn would have to do with letting go of certain negative behaviors or attitudes, letting go of addictions, letting go of negative self-talk and negative behaviors. So Saturn's intention is always to teach you, even though the lessons can be a little harsh. It's there to make you a better person moving forward. And you won't see Saturn in that house for a long time. So it will move at the very end of the year in December. It will move into your first house. Typically, Saturn in someone's first house is really quite challenging. Seeing as though Saturn is your ruler, I have a feeling the effects of Saturn won't be they won't be too bad. And the reason why is when Saturn is in your first house, it can affect your self-esteem, your self-confidence, make you much more of an introvert. And the lessons to learn from many of the obstacles that come in your way tend to be centered around becoming more responsible and more patient. And to me, those are really true Capricorn qualities anyway. So I'm not sure that the lessons you'll have to learn or the obstacles that you will have to go through will be that harsh, because that's already part of a Capricorn personality. It's a little bit more cautious, more responsible, more thoughtful, and those are the lessons that Saturn likes to teach. So you might not see quite the effects that a lot of the other signs would see from Saturn transiting their first house. So that's pretty positive for you as well. You have two, Saturn's not that crazy harsh, I don't think will be for you. And then you have Jupiter in just some fantastic areas. So 2017 should be nice. Now your North Node is an area where you participate in certain activities and thought-provoking things that make you feel, it's an area where those things will make you feel more productive, more like your self-growth and being your personal success. And these areas for you will be in the beginning of the year in your third house, and then in May will transit into your second house. So in the first part of the year, you may see yourself doing things, being more communicative, reaching out to people in your community, or reaching out to siblings or relatives, cousins. These are things that are really going to make you feel personally better and personally more productive, and maybe even enjoy things that have to do with transportation, like getting in your car and driving somewhere or traveling. Those are really going to be a strong focus for making you feel good. And in May, that's going to transit into your second house. And when it does that, the things that are going to make you feel like you're growing or being productive in society will be things centered around finances. So budgeting, setting up a legacy, maybe a legacy for your heirs. You're buying a home, or life insurance policy, or budgeting and saving. Those are activities that are going to make you feel like you're doing good. And so by all means, go for it and budget and save and set up some kind of legacy for your heirs. There are some eclipses this year in February and August, and we're in an eclipse series that are going to be focused around your second and your 8th houses. And these are houses of money. Your second house is earned income and personal finances and possessions, and the 8th house is joint finances and other people's money. So there may be some beginnings and endings with these. You may be impacted significantly or not significantly, depending on your natal chart and how the degrees match up with these eclipse degrees. So you can go on my website and have a look at how you would personally be affected and reach out to us, and we can help you with that. But you're going to see some changes, most likely. Some changes with regards to your personal income and changes with regards to joint finances. Maybe your family is giving you money. Maybe you're giving them money. Maybe you are taking out a loan and you have essentially like a joint finance with the bank. Insurance payouts, commissions, inheritance, lottery, things like that. So there's some kind of change in this eclipse series with regards to your second and 8th houses. Now, we also have an interesting and very rare trine taking place. It takes place 3 times within a year, and one of those trines is at the end of 2016, at the end of December. And then it happens again twice in 2017, once in the middle of May and once in the middle of November. And this trine is between Saturn, which is a very stable planet, and Uranus, which is a very unstable planet. So the trine is a very positive aspect. And so I could only assume that Saturn is going to stabilize whatever kind of unexpected events could go on with regards to Uranus. But these are going to affect your 12th and 4th houses. Now, your 4th house is your house of home and family and property. And the 12th house, there's quite a focus on there because Saturn will be in your 12th house for most of the year. So this trine is going to be in that same area between that and home. So we're looking at some kind of positive aspect, maybe whatever Saturn is is working through, whatever lessons it has to teach you in the 12th house with regards to possibly some kind of addiction or a behavioral pattern, a way of thinking that you need to get past. Maybe these are times when you'll be more productive with that, and overcoming those obstacles. And maybe it's with the help of someone in your family or your home base, your property, where you are. And so those times, again, and you may see a link between each of those trines with regards to what part of your life it's affecting. So if you see something going on here at the end of December in 2016, that may, something along those similar lines may reoccur again in May and then again November. But again, this is positive. This is a positive thing, and Saturn has a very stabilizing effect. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects you in particular, because this is such an interesting mix of Saturn being in your 12th and then combining it with your home and family life. The 12th tends to be a very introverted, the 12th house is a very introverted area, and so is the home and family. Your 4th house is, it's not you being out there in the world, it's really what's going on with your very close, your dwelling or your very close relatives. So there should be some interesting and positive experiences there as well. So I hope you have a great 2017. Take care.